Hello guys, for this video we'll be dealing with fear or anxiety. How do you deal with fear stroke anxiety? We'll start by defining what's really anxiety. Then we'll go to how does now this fear and anxiety sabotage areas in your life. Then we'll go to the coping mechanism. Then I'll finish by how do you face your fears. So stay tuned. Have that cup of coffee or tea if you prefer. Sit down, learn, and be equipped of how you will face these things when they happen to you, or when you feel scared, when you feel nervous. I know this is something that affects most of us. I'm not an exemption, but with this coping mechanism, each day we grow to be better people. So, without wasting much time, let's start by what's anxiety. Anxiety actually is the feeling of uneasiness, worry, or fear that you experience when you encounter one, a challenge, when you encounter two, an obstacle, or a nerve-wracking situation. So, anxiety is normal. Let's say, for example, you've lost a loved one. It's normal to feel unease. It's normal to feel worried. Let's say, for example, you're going for a job interview. It's normal to feel anxious. Will I perform well? How do I look? How will those employers think of me? That's very normal. But now anxiety becomes a problem when you dwell too much on it and it becomes a part of you. You start worrying even in situations where you shouldn't be worried. Anxiety is something that affects you when you dwell on it too much. Let's say, for example, you feel scared of meeting people in the public places. Does it really mean people don't like you? Most of the people say, oh, I don't know how people will take me. Maybe people will look at me and they don't like me, or they don't want me. That's being judgmental upon yourself. If you dig deeper into that, you can come to realize actually it's not about the outside people, it's about you. It's about you judging yourself that these people won't really like me. So, how then does anxiety sabotage your life? So, you will find anxiety sabotaging your work life, your relationships, sabotaging your goals, sabotaging even your health. So, I'll start by health. How does anxiety sabotage your health? When you keep worrying about something, you keep worrying about it, it removes your focus from the present moment. And now for most people, when they are worried, they eat a lot. And when you eat a lot, you find most of the times you eat junk, or you eat high calories food which are not good for your health. But also you will find maybe you're not eating at all, or you're eating too little, and then instead of focusing on nourishing your body, you're so worried on that situation, on that experience that maybe happens weeks ago, but you're still dwelling on it. So you find that instead of you nourishing yourself, you rather affecting your health, affecting your body, affecting even the brain, the mental well-being of yourself. So that is, anxiety can sabotage your health. Then, how does anxiety sabotage your work life? Now, imagine you're going to do a project, or you're going to do maybe a report, and this report really requires your attention. But because of something that happened, maybe you almost got into an accident, and it happened, yes. It was okay to be worried then, but then you keep dwelling on it. You keep dwelling on it that maybe I'll get into another accident. Who told you so? That was just one time situation. So you find this anxiety, instead of focusing now on the real task at hand, you are focusing on things that really happened. Sorry. So when you focus on things that really happened rather than focusing on the task at hand, you find yourself you're doing things with a lot of errors. For example, if you're an accountant, for example, you're doing things that are they are not really the mathematical errors. Instead of writing 500, you find yourself you've written 5,000. Then it costs the company and it lowers your productivity. And most of the times you may find people are laid off because of anxiety. And this anxiety can stem from maybe things that happened 2 years ago, but because you've held on to them so much, they still affect you. So that is also something else. So how now does anxiety affect your relationships? Imagine having a partner who is always worried about what wrong could go in a relationship, who is always worried maybe this person will abandon me, or maybe this person will leave me, or maybe I'm not good enough for this person. If you have such a partner, you won't feel really happy, you won't feel good about it, right? So you find anxiety affecting your relationship. Instead of focusing now on the real relationship, you find you're focusing on what could go wrong, instead of seeing the other side of the coin of what could go right, what really is really good in this relationship. Instead of spending quality time with your partner, you are so worried about whether my partner will leave me or not, or whether I'm good enough or not. So instead of focusing on building that relationship, you're focusing on things that could go wrong. And do you know, when you focus on things that could go wrong so many times, it becomes true, and you start wondering, why is my relationship not working? It's because you're not putting in effort that is required. And when you don't put effort in anything, it always goes wrong. That's the reality. But when you put effort and you do your best without worrying of what could go wrong, you build that relationship. You build a very healthy, amazing relationship. So now, how does anxiety affect your goals? They could be short-term goals, they could be long-term goals. Let me use a financial example here. Maybe you want to save a certain amount of money, right? And you just wondering, hey, what's the best platform? The best thing you could have done, if you're wondering what's the best platform, do the due diligence. Go research about savings. How do I save? What's the best investment company I can use? Or whether you choose to use the bank, which the best bank that I can use, and so many other things. Instead of worrying, now, what if I save with the bank and maybe the bank will close down tomorrow, or the bank will do this, or the investment firm will run away with your money. That's why I said, go do your due diligence, know the facts, right? Know what's required of you. After you've known what's required of you, you won't be worried of what could go wrong, because you will make a conscious decision. So that is something else to do with anxiety, and how it always sabotage your goals. You find if you spend a lot of time worrying, let's say you wanted to open even a business, or you wanted to go to the gym, then you are so worried of how will I look after, or if it's the business, what if the business fails? Who told you? It could be the only business that succeeds. But now, because you've already put a barrier on something that hasn't happened, believe you me, you will now not be focusing positively but negatively, so that you can sabotage that business, so that it won't work, and you start blaming yourself. So it's good to realize that this anxiety can really sabotage many areas of your life. I've just focused on a few: the health sector. I've focused on how it affects your workplace, your relationships, and your goals. So now that we've dealt with how anxiety sabotages you, now how do you cope with anxiety? When that challenge happens, when that obstacle occurs, how do you face anxiety? First, acknowledge the feelings. Most of the times people numb the feeling. When I say numb, I mean people try to repress the feelings, and they try to pretend the feelings don't exist, so I don't have to be worried. No. Acknowledge what you feel. Acknowledge, what am I anxious about? Then, when you've acknowledged that, try and live for the moment. I'll give a story. There was this person who was so worried about whether they will pass the exam or not. And you find this person, for them, they were so worried. I failed the other exam, so how am I going to pass this one? Or things have not been happening so well. I think my future is ruined, until they met someone who told them, I'll discuss these in details in future videos. Live in a day tight compartment. You know what I mean? Close the past, close the future. Just focus on today. Focus on the here and now. Focus on what am I doing right now? How am I feeling right now? Where are these feelings stemming from? And also, you should know, after you've acknowledged those feelings, write them down. Write those feelings down, so that you, in future time, you will go and dig deeper. Why do I always get anxious in public speaking, for example? Or why do I always get anxious when maybe a boy approaches me or a girl approaches me? Or why do I always get anxious when I want to approach a woman I like? You know, it could be, you have to dig deeper into it to understand where these feelings are coming from. That's very important. When you know now where are these feelings coming from, you will know how to face them. As I said earlier, you may find that even that girl, maybe that you're scared of approaching, maybe likes you, but now you are like, am I really good enough? Or am I really the kind of girl that she would want? Or am I really, you've started putting doubt in yourself without even the other person putting doubts in you. And that really affects you. And it will affect even how you approach. And you might go to that girl and you're just blabbering because you don't have the confidence required, because you've already put doubts in your mind. So now that you know and you've written down, create a worry time. Worry time means keep yourself busy the whole day. For example, give yourself 40 minutes. Write down all the things that you're worried about. After you've written them down, now focus on, why am I worried about A, B, C, D? After you've written them down, you're now introspecting. Now that's the time that you should now dig deeper and understand, where is this worry coming from? If it's the fear of rejection, it could be coming from childhood experience, which you need to deal with. But you can't know that when you don't dig deeper into why you're worried. Then, now that you have, let's say, like 5 worries, I'm scared of maybe getting into an accident, I'm scared of approaching this woman, I'm scared of starting my own business, I'm scared of saving money. Now start with the most urgent, or the one that really makes you think a lot about it. Let's say, like, starting a business. Then analyze, why am I scared of starting a business? Where is this one coming from? You may realize maybe it's a friend who started business and it didn't work out, and you feel you are that friend. You are not. You're different, you're unique. So now, after you analyze that one worry, write down different solutions that you will use to face now that worry. The solution would be facing your fears and tackling it head on. Like, if you are scared of starting a business, the facing your fears is really starting that business and just learning with the business, just learning with things that are happening. So face your fears head on. So as I conclude this a bit long episode, or a bit long video, I would like to say, face your fears head on. Those things you're really scared about, those are the things that bring bigger impact in your life. You may be scared of that business, but maybe you would be the next Elon Musk. You'd never know. You may be scared of maybe saving that money, but where will you get your financial freedom from? So face that fear that you have, regardless of whatever the fear it is. It could be fear of motherhood. Face it. and you will be surprised. The things that we are so scared of, they are the things that bring most happiness. So guys, don't forget to like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Bye bye, see you next time.